Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me into another Black Desert online video. My name is Wilky, and today we're going to talk about the recent patch, a small change in skill builds, I guess, or not really skill builds, but basically what has changed regarding skills, and pretty much most of the mandatory information that may have slipped by, or they have recently added within the red mark text. So even if you have read the patch notes, make sure to go to the forum post again and reread the patch notes, especially at the bottom. They will usually put everything they haven't written in the whole wall of text yet in red letters, so you can look that up. And maybe there's information that you haven't noticed yet, or they maybe haven't posted. So the first thing is obviously a very obvious thing. I guess most people know by now that processing, any kind of processing, does not consume energy anymore. What that basically means is you can chop as many logs as you want now, you can process all of your water, you can pretty much, anything that is processing now will not consume energy. What this basically means is all the stuff that piled up, or hasn't piled up, but you were too stingy to spend your energy on, is basically now free to be used. Which is a good and bad thing, I guess. Because people that spend all the energy, they kinda got screwed over, but for the majority, this is probably gonna be a good change. Now, the second most important thing, probably regarding this change, is that they are trying to revamp the skill system, how the whole system is working, and in the process of that, they will give you very, very good items. If you go to the loyalty store, you can get 3 skill reset. That's an all combat skill reset, so that's going to remove all of your skills. Plus 3 awakening skill resets. These are really, really good. And I definitely recommend spending every day 3 loyalty to get at least the awakening skill reset, because that's basically a free memory fragment for 1 loyalty. Sure, that's only like 700k you're gonna save, but in the long run, I think that's a very decent investment of your loyalty points. Since, especially if you have bought the dye package, the green one, and the dye package for the soccer, for the Euro Cup, you will always have like an uneven amount of loyalties. So I think this is a very, very good approach and a very good way to spend your loyalties on. And plus, it allows you to change awakenings, maybe remove or fix some of the errors you made and you didn't want to spend any cash up, or like any pearls or any loyalties on it before. Plus, with the skill resets, you can pretty much freely test out as many skill builds as you want. This applies to both, I'm not really sure what I was gonna say. This applies to every class, so you can buy these on every class, so this means if you have more than 1 class, you can basically reset all of their skills. The awakening skill reset is only working for 1, so obviously you have to pick. The thing about this is these reset every day, so you can buy 3 of these and 3 of these every day, though I don't really see why anybody would spend so much loyalties on the combat skill reset. The awakening reset is definitely something I'd take a look into. The second thing regarding loyalties, while I'm still open, is that if you buy the dyes with loyalties, these ones, you can sell them on the marketplace. This is something gonna be looking like this. If you go to the marketplace, on the tab here that has dyes in it, you can see dyes being registered now. Keep in mind, these are only the dyes you received from the loyalties. So the ones you bought for pearls, I can show you that right now, is if I remove, let's say this one, it does not show you any price value. That means this one cannot be sold on the marketplace. So hold your horses. This is not going to be pay to win. This is simply a way to turn basically your loyalties into money, which is a pretty decent system, I think. Plus, it allows some people to get more colors for in-game cash, or like silver, without having to spend loyalties, or without having to spend money on pearls. So this is a really good approach, I think. And maybe they will follow up with more stuff like that. Furthermore, there's a pretty heavy discount on certain items. I think housing and stuff has like 50%, colors as well. Pets are 20% off, so if you still want to buy something, this is pretty much a good time to do it. Alright, is there anything else that is of major substance? There has been a huge revamp of the combat system. Well, not really the combat system, but skills. There has been like a basic paragraph of what has been changed. Most notably, the crit damage and the multipliers now when the enemy is CC'd. Plus, what also changed is that you can now level up training, strength, and health, or like all these 3 stats until level 50. This is gonna take quite a long time. You can see I'm not too active on this part, but you can see this takes quite a bit actually to rank up now. So getting that to 50 will probably take at least, I'd assume, 4 to 6 weeks, unless you're literally eating food 24/7. Anyways, regarding that, I think those are the most significant changes. We're gonna have the first Node War tomorrow, so this might be a very good option to revitalize the game. Although, as said in the other video, guilds have been broken up, and quite a few people have dropped the game, but maybe we'll get some of these people back into the game, and hopefully making up for good fights and a good challenge, because as it stands now, it seems quite clear of who the guilds will be that will get nodes, and furthermore, it's probably very evident, at least on Jardine. I'm not exactly sure how the other servers are looking, but at least on Jardine, it's probably gonna be very obvious which guilds are gonna get a castle, which is kinda lame to be honest, because I thought it would be a lot more fun and entertaining to get actually proper contests over those. But it seems kinda very straightforward where these will go. Yeah. Anyways, regarding skills, they have changed a couple things. The first thing is, every class will now get the basic attack ranked up as soon as you level up your character. You don't have to spend skill points on that anymore. This doesn't really bother bladers, but since you know that I also played Ranger, this is a very good patch regarding that. And I'll probably make a follow-up video on the Ranger skill build tomorrow, because it's kind of late already, but I'll make a follow-up video on that, talking about the Ranger and how skills are going to work now, and how that actually is going to affect stuff. What they also did change is at the very bottom, also applying to every class, is, they changed the Infinite Mastery, which is the HP Mastery, so everybody from level 50 to level 55, you can get those. And starting from 56, you can get the Skilled Hunter passive, which increases AP against mobs. Basically meaning this will make your PvE life a bit easier. I'm not exactly sure how much these 3 AP are going to weigh in, but I can imagine that this can be decently helpful, at least for people that PvE a lot or they want this extra oomph against mobs. 6 AP is not too terribly bad for, like, what, 8 skill points total. It kind of gets a bit expensive at the end. I'm not exactly sure if that's worth it, but probably taking the first 2 doesn't seem to hurt that much. But yeah, like I said, anyway, I'll definitely recommend going to the loyalty store, buying these skill resets, and playing around with the skill bits. There's no better time than right now to buy these skill resets, grab a guildie or grab a friend, go to the arena, do your testings with skills, without skills, with passives, without passives, so you can finally get a clear answer on how things are working, if it's worth taking certain skills, is it not worth it. Literally, this is the best moment, because for almost for free, this 1 loyalty per reset is like a very good opportunity. So I advise everybody, even if you're not too active at the moment, get your ass into the game, get yourself these 3 skill resets or 1 loyalty skill resets, and play around, so we can finally put at least some of these rumors cursing around on the internet, on the forums, that certain skills are bad, certain skills do not help, certain skills do help, so everybody can get their own answers, so we don't have to rely on testing being done by other people. Not saying that those tests are wrong, but still, most of the time it kinda is only like a fracture of what the whole test should be like. So this is a very good thing. Like I said, skill build wise for Blader, nothing really changed, because I think the auto attack was not really a big thing. I do believe Divider rank 1 was an auto learn for Bladers before. Now it isn't, which kind of makes me happy because I don't like this skill. because using it for CC is kind of a bit wonky, but that's on a whole different piece of paper. Anyways, enough of rambling on about the recent patch notes. Like I said, there's gonna be Siege, there's gonna be Node Wars tomorrow. Hopefully this is gonna be a lot of PvP fun. They also started a couple events. There's a trailer event with a lot of pearls on the brink of being won by a lot of people, so this is actually a very good thing. If you want to make some video content or you want to try it out, definitely a good moment to do so, because you can win a lot of pearls for not only yourself but also for a couple of your friends. So this is a very good alternative. And yeah, they also have other events that will give you house items again, and I'm not exactly sure what else. I haven't paid too much attention to that part. Anyways, like I said, I think those are the most important parts. Check out the forum posts frequently, I'd say at least every day, because they keep adding stuff which they are figuring out by now. So definitely pay extra attention to the red paragraph at the very bottom. Those usually contain some very major information. Oh yeah, the final thing I forgot to talk about was you now don't have to use a forge and worker to upgrade your items. Use the black spirit, and what you also do, or are able to do now, is you can craft the ultimate upgrade stones, which means you can get a stone that will upgrade your item to yellow with a 100% success chance. So if you don't like RNG, I definitely recommend spending that little bit of extra cash, but making sure on how to get those stones. If you're wondering how to get those stones, check out the database. It's written there. So, but basically you use 10 grade 3, the yellow reform stones, plus one of the new crystals, the crystal shards for armor, the hard ones for weapons, the sharp ones. And then you just melt them together and you get one of these ultimate stones. Or you can also try buying them. I think people have started to sell them. You can see the pricing for them. It seems kind of a bit expensive, but then again, this is gonna be 100% chance to get an ultimate item, even from a green version, which is for me, because RNG was terribly bad for me in this end. I think is a pretty good way to do it. Anyways, like I said, enough rambling. I think this video is longer than I anticipated, but yeah, hopefully there has been some information you haven't known. And yeah, like I said, for the Ranger peeps out there, I'll make a follow-up guide talking about what has changed for Rangers tomorrow. And for Bladers, we have received a couple buffs for, I guess those are meant to be PvE buffs, because those skills are not very often used for PvP. The cooldown reduction on 2 skills is pretty good for both, but the damage buff really only matters for PvP. Anyways, thank you guys for joining, and yeah, hopefully see you guys next time.